Hello, how are you? I'm good, thanks for asking. I'm going to do a video about Knights Templar because I generally think that the history is fiction and not correct. So I wanted to run some things by you, so I hope you give me some feedback. Okay, right, the Knights Templars, there's loads of writing about them and books and stuff. So I'll just go through this thing. They were stated at the beginning as a poor knight of Christ, and they wore robes and stuff and had a red cross and stuff. So suddenly the history jumps. So they were supposed to be accompanying people travelling to Jerusalem to protect them from being attacked and being robbed and killed. But suddenly in the history they become rich, and then eventually they open banks. So they've gone, according to history, they've gone from poor Knights of Christ now to bankers and rich people. So what was that about? I'm going to jump, I'll come back to that, I'm going to jump to the Arcasians. If you've ever researched the Arcasians, it's interesting. Has a bit more truth to it, I suspect, but anyway. About 200 years before, I think, there was a trade route set from China to Europe, and it went through the Arcasian land, which I think might have been Turkey or something like that, I don't know. But what allegedly used to happen is that the Arcasians would befriend the travellers, invite them in, feed them, provide them with warmth and a bed, and then they would kill them and take their belongings and their identity and carry on to where they were going and sell the goods, which you can imagine they accrue a lot of money doing that. Now something's ringing a bell with me here now. The trade route, I think it's called Silk Road, the China trade route, and people journeying up to Jerusalem, needing protection. Doesn't it all sound a bit similar? You see, my question is, are the Arcasians connected to the Knights Templar? Are the Knights Templar Arcasians disguised as poor knights, and they do exactly the same thing to the people going to Jerusalem? I don't know. Anyway, we'll move on. So apparently King Philip was in debt to the Templars, and he burned them at the stake and killed a lot of them. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And poor guy died a year later. Interesting. But it's interesting that the Knights Templars have had the same fate as the Khazars in the south of France, if you know anything about them. Burned at the stake. So, Templars were the beginning of banking then, does that mean? Arcasian descendants, if you look at the banks now, Arcasian descendants mostly run the banking system of the world. And you just begin to see the two stories coming together. So where do the Templars fit in with the Arcasian descendants of the names? I won't say the names of the banking families, but how are they all connected? I'm beginning to smell a rat. Anyway, so the basic markers of this story are hidden wealth, power, banking and control slavery, banking control and slavery, murder, assuming identities and theft. So, were the Knights what I'm saying is, were the Knights Templars really the poor Knights of Christ, or did they come up with an idea to repeat what may have happened in the past and get their wealth by killing and robbing the travellers to Jerusalem? But of course telling everyone that they're defending them. Anyway, I'd be interested what you think, so just put something down in the comments if you don't mind. And if you like the video, you can always like it. Alright, have a nice day. The spam fritters are ready. Bye! When you come, bring your rock and roll. And when you come, bring your soul. Bring some beers and some cigarettes too. We can talk about what is true. Haven't seen you for a while. Really need to see your smile. Been traveling around the land, lying in bed, walking through the sand. When you come, bring your rock and roll. When you come, bring your soul. Bring some beers and some cigarettes too. We can talk about what is true.